tennis balls which were used for the previous match. So I'm going to throw them up in the crowd. Here we go. Alright, we're going to start up. We always start over here. Hello there, friends. You got me up there? Oh. Okay, so it's a little bit of a game. You've got to make a bit of noise first, okay? So I know, when MC's asking to make noise, oh, come on, man. But on the count of 3, make a bit of noise. 1, 2, 3. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So we've got to go down this end, though. It's you against them. Hello down there. That's right, you reckon? Okay. Alright, tennis ball for you, who wants left? Yeah. I do throw it very far back a lot of the time. I'll just throw it really high and see what happens. Actually, I'll go away. I'll see if I can make it. I don't know if I can make that. Take it, drop, and... Hey, she's good. Take it. Sort of. Alright, over this side. Hello up there, how are we? You good? Good to hear. Okay, you know the drill? On the count of 3, make some noise. 1, 2, 3! Pretty good? Pretty good? Hello up there, how you going? You feeling good or what? 1, 2, 3, make some noise! They're telling me with that side. I'm just asking, blame them. Alright, who wants a tennis ball? Okay, I'll go 1 far and 1 shallow. You get 2. Here we go. My arm is in some good form right now, I think. Alright, where do we want to go? Alright, you see me up there? I don't think I made this the other day. Here we go. Oh my God! Oh, it's so cool! Oh, I'm gonna try it here now, my man. I threw it too hard! Who would have thought? I cannot feel my arm. Alright, here we go. An incredible catch. Here we go. Take third. That worried me. It would be really bad if they fell over the edge. Sorry guys. It's my moment to shine, you know what I'm saying? Pass it on. Okay, I think that's about it. So tennis coming up, it's going to be big. Zverev against Humbert. Take a look at this.
Melbourne is sitting there, so I think it's my favorite slam. This time will always be special.
His maiden major happens in Melbourne.
Everything is possible, nothing is longer until the umpire says game 7 match.
Good evening and welcome to the Cain Arena for the last of the day's matches, and a good one for us to look forward to as well in a men's singles round of 16 contest, the one that is about to get underway between Alexander Zverev, the German, the world #2, and Ugo Humbert of France. Nick Lester is my name. Robert Lindstedt is alongside me. Bobby, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. We'll have Roger Rashid with us as well momentarily. He's got the best seat in the house down courtside. And this should be a good contest. The house is full pretty much, a couple of seats at the top, but they'll be filled very shortly. And we were just discussing off air, Bobby, that Sasha's done everything in the sport pretty much, and there's only one thing missing really.
Yeah, I mean it is. He's been very close, but you know, close but no cigar, right? So for him to win one, that is why he is training, that is why he's suffering in the gym, that's why he's doing things he doesn't want to in hopes of improving. And out of all the active players, I mean, looking, that hasn't really won one, he's the one where I'm thinking like it has to come at some point.
Yeah, so for the US Open title, let's not forget that he was 2 points away from winning the US Open against Dominic Thiem a few years ago now. He will hope that everything comes to those that wait as we look forward to welcoming the players onto court.
Round 4 men's singles action. Please welcome from France, Ugo Humbert. And please welcome his opponent from Germany, Alexander Zverev.
What a year he had last year. Quite brilliant.
He's had quite a few of them.
He has. I'm sure he is even perhaps getting a little tired of having to answer the questions, when is going to be his time. It certainly feels like it's getting closer, but as we well know, there's a couple of guys, more than a couple of guys in the mix that have been just a little too good.
Yeah, like it's kind of funny when you think of it, right? Because when he was coming up, you had Roger, Rafa, Novak in the way, and then like a couple of them retire, and it's like, maybe now it's not my time, and then all of a sudden you have these two kids coming up, and they're taking over and passing him. So, but hey, winning a Grand Slam is the absolute most difficult thing to do in tennis, so it's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, then everybody would have a title.
Absolutely, and today it shouldn't be easy. Ugo Humbert had a great year last year. He enjoys the quicker courts, the slightly lower bouncing courts. And despite the fact Zverev won comfortably last time around.
This is Declan.
We'll see what this one has in
How are
store.
you? So guys, just a quick reminder, 1-for-1 warm-up, 25 seconds in between the points. The clock here you have in all the four corners on the small boards on the side, and then on the big screens as well. Video review available on this court, so you can challenge the calls like not up, false shots through a hindrance. After the coin toss, please face with Declan this way for a photo, if that's okay. Do you have any questions? Okay, Sasha, would you like to call it? We have AO or John Newcomb? AO? AO is called. Oh, you just leave it on the ground. Toss it and leave it on the ground. That's great. Thank you. John Newcomb. Serve. Photo, please. Good match.
Yes, one of the hot shots.
Thank you very much. Well done.
That play a big role here each and every year. The flip of the coin. And this will be a fourth meeting between these two players. Zverev having won 2 of the previous 3, including, as I mentioned, comfortably in Bercy at the end of last year.
It's completely different conditions, though, in Bercy. I haven't been there in a couple of years, but normally that indoor court plays pretty slow. That is not the case in Australia.
As we mentioned, this guy had a super season last year, knocked on the door of the world's top 10. He's been at a career high, number 13. He's only 1 spot away from that now. What makes him so dangerous, Bobby?
No, he plays high-risk tennis, right? He does. He goes for his shot. His backhand is really, really solid. His forehand can go a little bit wild at sometimes, right? And then the fact that he's a lefty with a big serve, where he actually serves a little bit unorthodox on the ad side with his starting position, right? But he's when a player like Ugo Humbert is on, he's very difficult to stop because he plays really fast tennis.
Yeah, certainly does. 39 tour level wins last year. That was the most he's ever recorded in a single season. And that runner-up showing in Paris at the end of the year was a nice way to put the seal on a great season. A great season is exactly what Sasha Zverev had, as we referenced last year. 69 wins. That is staggering over the course of the year. It was, of course, a case of him cementing his position and climbing again. So for him, Bobby, now having been around as long as he has, how big is that? How difficult is that last step going to be to take here? The longer it goes on, does that become a factor for him?
I mean, the longer it goes, it's not going to be easier, right? Because the more you play, the longer it takes, the more you know. So you actually, not only do you know what it takes, but you also know what can go wrong in any particular situation. So in matches, if you're having a weak day or something, you know how a match can turn, and maybe that can come, and you start thinking about that a little bit too much.
Yeah, there's the head-to-head. Zverev was dominant in that match. Cooled down a little bit. These players will probably be relieved somewhat. They're not playing 2 or 3 hours ago because it was brutal, the heat, and it's just cooled down a fraction. There's a little bit of cloud cover as well. Let's bring Jeremy Chardy into the conversation because Jeremy's caught. So, Jeremy, can you hear us first of all?
Yeah, I can. Hello, guys.
Thanks for your time. Just talk us through the week so far for Ugo. How well has he played, and what have you been impressed with?
I mean, I was impressed because he was really calm every matches. He played a good level, and he didn't lose any energy, so it's perfect to start this match.
This, obviously, Jeremy, is a big step up today, you would think. What's important for him to do well today?
I mean, he have to... everything he has to do well to beat Sasha, because he's a really good player. But I think he will have to be smart to go on the right ball and sometimes like accept to have like longer rallies than usually. And yeah, it will be a tough match for him, but he's confident, he's fresh physically, so I hope it will be a good fight and he will find a way to win.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jeremy, and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
30 seconds.
One thing we looked at, Bobby, is that Sasha's record against lefties is pretty darn good, isn't it? There haven't been too many left-handers that have got the better of him.
No, I mean, at first my thought was like, it's mind-boggling that he doesn't lose at all, but then it kind of makes sense as well, since out of the ground strokes, right, Sasha's backhand is by far the better shot. So even if you're a lefty with spin or a lot of speed, he has no problem handling that. And especially since he's that tall, even against a player like Rafa Nadal, It gets up on him, but it doesn't get over him. So he is comfortable just staying and digging in his backhand corner. So that has to be a massive factor for him, having a good record against lefties.
Yeah, absolutely right. Zverev, of course, last year, who lost in the semi-finals here, having been up by 2 sets to love. Let's not forget on Daniil Medvedev in that semi-final. Ended up losing in 4 hours and 18 minutes in a heartbreaker. Jeremy Chardy alongside Fabrice Martin on the left. They're doing the on board with the coaching duties. Jeremy, of course, has been with Ugo Humbert for a couple of seasons now. And there is the opposite corner. This should be a good one. It'll be the French left-hander to begin.
Love 15.
May need that to fire today, you would think, if he's to keep Zverev at bay.
Yeah, he absolutely needs to serve well today. Zverev, obviously, as tall as he is, he's got amazing reach and he returns very well.
Humbert's win so far over Matteo Gigante, straight sets, beat Hadi Habib in straights, and then Arthur Feast retired at 1-love in the 4th, so hasn't actually spent a whole lot of time on court thus far, which obviously is a bonus. Zverev's wins over Luca Pouille, Pedro Martinez and Jacob Fernley has been equally efficient so far. That's what he can do.
Yeah, Humbert is not going to back off. He's going to stick to his gun and try to beat Zverev at his own game. But also, like Jeremy Chardy said, he needs to be a little bit patient as well, because just hitting against Zverev is not really what you want to do. He'll find his rhythm and he's just not going to miss.
Let's bring Roger Rashid into the conversation, because Roger's courtside. Evening to you, Rash.
G'day guys, yeah, good conditions, beautiful, the sun's going down, so the players aren't in the sun obviously, so this is about as good as you can get to play tennis in. The court's still got a lot of life and bounce out of it, so it's a lively court. I like the Frenchman on the lively court as well, because he throws his forehand. It's a fast forehand off the racket, and I can feel he can do damage here if he's a believer. He's got a game which can definitely control proceedings at certain times. It's whether he's able to do it for the period of time needed against Zverev.
Rash, what do you see as the biggest challenges when you play Sasha, do you think? Obviously, Humbert, as you say, someone who likes to be on the front foot. How difficult is that to do against Sasha when he's serving well as well?
Yeah, I think when he's hitting his first serve or getting good percentage, great, I agree. But every time he has a second serve, I'm actually trying to be a disruptor. I'm trying to make that serve become shaky in his world. Now, obviously, as you know, he does have periods where that's been his Achilles heel alongside with that forehand side. You've got to absorb the good moments, the big moments, and know they're coming. There's a reason why you're ranked where you're ranked. And then just find ways to disrupt. So try not to play the game the way Sasha wants his tennis identity to look on his side of the court. And I think the Frenchman's got tools to do that.
14.
I really agree with that also, like actually stepping up, taking the second serve on. And it's not always a question of like making the ball in play, it's just sending a message as well and getting into your opponent's mindset.
Game, Zverev.
It's amazing how consistent that first serve is. I mean, even already you look at it, he leads the tour pretty much every year in first serve percentage. He's up around the low 70s.
But that's the amazing part to me, that he has that incredibly reliable first serve, and then his second serve throughout his career has caused him so much trouble. He's hit 2 first serves.
Thank you.
So the first time also today there's a little bit of breeze. There hasn't been any all day, and so the Frenchman's currently going with a little bit of a breeze.
Let's for service.
So Tom's been a little caught out with that sort of ball, hasn't he? That low, short ball, because he's not someone who always instinctively looks to make that transition up the court.
I mean, it's also tough when you often play tennis in the backboards of the court. So you're not really gonna. It's too much ground to cover sometimes, and that's I think that's something that's maybe missing in his game, to move up to the baseline a little bit more, take that time away from your opponent, and get used to playing there instead of far back all the time.
I'm a big believer the reason why he hasn't won a major as well is that when he is able to drive with the ball so well, so consistently at times when he's had big moments, he's refused to generally use the forward half of the court, and there needs to be a differential there.
Let's for service.
He did make a good transition.
(40-13).
That is what we're talking about a little bit, Bobby, with that court exposed there, and he doesn't quite hit the spot.
I mean, I don't know if it was a slight miss hit from Zverev or not, but that is just a phenomenal return against Humbert, I would say. It's high and deep, and you're making Humbert hit his backhand above his shoulder. That's not a place he wants to be. This is what Sasha loves. Side to side, side to side. He can do it all day. I've seen him practice like this in Saddlebrook in Florida. All he does is 2 hours of this, side to side, side to side. He's in his own living room when that happens.
Early chance for the German to make a move. First time he's actually executed on that serve down the tee.
Tried it a couple of times, haven't done it, but yeah, that's the first one.
Advantage, Zverev.
Close to a full house on JCA this evening. Some pretty big queues to get in here as well. And I walked up here about 45 minutes ago. Such a good job with the scheduling this week to keep the action going at certain times of the day. Good start from the world number 2. And Bears already down a break here to the opening 12 minutes. Defensively, Bobby, I guess of the two, you'd probably have to give it to Zverev movement-wise, staying in the point. His ability to stay in the point probably a little more durable.
No, you absolutely have to do it. I mean, you have to call it as it is. I mean, Zverev's one of the best in the world at this, and that is not Humbert's strength. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean here, but he's a very offensive player, and Sasha has literally built a career of defending his tennis.
I don't have another one there. Can you double check?
It's going to be EpiPen out here. Of course, he's been very open about his diabetes that he's dealing with over the last few years, pretty much since he was a kid. Started the year off at the United Cup, as he likes to do. Did Sasha Zverev, of course, Germany. He and Laura Siegemund teaming up. A couple of wins in the singles there over Jun Zhizhen and Thiago Monteiro. Of course, Laura Siegemund had a pretty good run in the singles here. She approaches her late 30s, still proving she's got the qualities.
Yeah, she had a very good win here. I think Germany won it last year too, didn't they? United
That's
Cup.
right, yeah.
that's what I'm talking about, and I think that's a part of the game that needs to be explored more often, because he's able to hit so many of these type of balls, and to be sitting and watching and just enjoying your shot.
Yep.
That's a negative when you're trying to win a major.
So effectively, Rash, you'd like him to be braver, is what you're saying, really.
Yeah, and just explore. I mean, he's got long reach levers. Start to learn the nuances of how to protect and look after the real estate when you come in, and you know that's a big image for the opponent to see way back there. Big moments. So I would get him to watch his own vision, and the only thing I would want him to look for is when he would make a decision on, oh, I could have come in on that, and let's just see how many notches he puts on the piece of paper throughout the course of a match against the top end players. I think there'd be a fair few.
Game, Zverev.
I completely agree with that also, and it's because he hits such a clean and heavy ball. So if he takes something a bit earlier, when you come in, it's not like he's going to dig up volleys from his shoelaces. They're often going to be just easy putaways.
And let him dig one out. Who cares? But the message has got to be the opposite. The opponent has to feel like they don't have any air to hit the ball into.
And then they'll take a bigger risk themselves.
Love.
Going to make the quarterfinals of a major for the very first time today is Ugo Humbert. Twice he's lost in the last 16 at majors, both at Wimbledon.
Let for service.
Last summer, lost to Alcaraz in 4 on the grass at Wimbledon, and 5 years ago it was Djokovic that beat him in the last 16. The flight of the ball that Humbert produces does tend to stay pretty low, doesn't it? It's the way he hits it, because there's not tons of topspin attached to it, can just skid a little bit on you, and that one stayed pretty low on the German.
That's also why his best results are coming on the faster surfaces instead of the slower ones. So, because on the faster ones, obviously the ball stays low. If it is a little bit slower, then it sits up a little bit more and gives your opponent time to send something back at you.
To hit a quick sort of half volley, trying to cut it fine. Zverev's movement again, excellent.
He not only moves well for a big guy, he moves well.
Chance for a double break here already.
Deuce.
Yeah, back working with Jez Green these days. Of course, Jez did such a good job in the early days with Sasha when he first came onto the tour, building a robust body. Became such a good athlete with Jez on the bag. There he is in the blue top.
Advantage, Zverev. Hold. Game.
Clinical finish. And he's looking very sharp early on here. As Zverev races out to a 4-1 lead.
That's also a problem when you've gotten beaten in the last meeting. I think 6-2, 6-2, I think it was. You're not feeling well in that match, right? And then going into this match, you obviously try to block those thoughts and feelings out. But then when you get a start like this, it's kind of impossible for them not to come back.
Yep.
And we'll see how Humbert is going to handle that as well.
Time.
Zverev gunning for his 29th match win in Melbourne here this evening. That would actually equal Boris Becker's record in terms of German men.
That's a decent record to tie.
Not bad, is it? Boris keeping himself busy these days with various different projects that he's part of. Look at those first serve numbers already for Zverev. Only missed one so far.
$15.
A little slip, but wasn't perturbed by it.
$30.
The length that he's keeping at the moment is suffocating.
$40.
He certainly looks comfortable.
Thank you. Game, Zverev. Zverev leads 5-1.
Just takes the racket out of your hand, doesn't he, when he's hitting his spots as well. It's one thing getting the high percentage, Bobby, but it's another then when he's hitting his spots as well, because that's just double edge attack.
No, it is, and when you're that tall as well, I mean, the ball just sits up a little bit higher, so even if you're there, it's actually difficult to get a good swing on it.
Yeah.
Speed alone is not that difficult to return. You just have to be there. It's the action on it that makes it so tough.
And just on that, you mentioned the spot serving. There was a, when he was coming up, he was not a spot server. He'd serve, yes, but had no direction, was easy to pick off. And yes, his numbers are up there, but now he's added that element. And that's just repetition, isn't it?
Yep.
And he's got a makeup, and it's been from a young age, that has been prepared to hit the same ball over and over for hours and hours, as boring as it is. And so it's in his DNA of actually trying to find that photographic memory and also that muscle memory.
It was his mum that did a lot of the coaching with him in the early days whilst Dad was on tour with Misha.
Let's for service.
Speak to people that were around. I'm sure you were around then, Bobby, and saw that. Mum did a lot of the technical work, I'm told.
Yeah, I played them both.
Oh, this is imperious stuff right now from the German.
Love 14.
Yeah, this is tough with Humbert loving his backhand when he's not getting anything out of that corner really, and Zverev is punching with his forehand. That's got to be a little bit heartbreaking.
3 set points. Those first serve numbers are actually not bad either, but he hasn't got anywhere near the amount of change that Zverev has out of it.
Game, first set, Zverev.
And in the end, a rather tepid way for the set to draw to a conclusion.
New balls, please.
Zverev is looking very sharp as he takes the first in, not even half an hour on the clock, 6-1. Well, kind of picked up where we left off in Paris in many ways, haven't we, when this matchup, as Bobby was saying. And barely any points lost on his own serve there throughout set number 1 for the German. 15 winners to 2. That's pretty significant golf.
Yeah, it's tough to win matches when that statistic is against you. That's pretty obvious. Be interesting to see if Humbert changes anything coming out in this set, or if he's just going to trust his believe in his ability and claw his way back.
Game 7 seconds if you want to get up. 5, 4.
Time.
Tommy Paul awaits the winner The American dominating Alejandro Davidovich for Cain today, 6-1, 6-1, 6-1. Spaniard a little inhibited by some injuries, I'm told. Didn't see much of it, but
it was always going to be tough for Davidovich Fokina, having played 2 5-setters in a row, coming back from 2 sets to love down in both. That's always going to leave a mark.
Yeah, Jack Draper finding that out as well. He, of course, retired today, midway through his match with Carlos Alcaraz.
That's the second serve right there, I feel like Roger talked about before. They're really just stepping in and trying to take care of business. Obviously, he hasn't had too many looks on second serves because there's not been many. But that's what you have to do, I think.
Shifted his position a bit, isn't he? He started the match very deep off the return and looks as though he's going for something different here. Rash, do you see that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to create a little different image when Sasha looks up. And it's smart. Probably need to happen from the start of the match, to be honest. Oh, there you go.
15-13.
Some seriously impressive hands to be able to produce that shot. Lowered his ball toss, didn't he, about 18 months ago off that serve, and it has made a big difference. Consistency he gets now because of that really has had a big uptick in it.
14-13.
It was a while back in the day that ball toss was so high, it was all over the place. Now it's so secure.
I mean, I can't really think of any amazing servers that has had a really high ball toss. It becomes a high risk, windy situations, and you always have to serve when the ball is dropping down to you, which is more difficult to time.
Game, Zverev. First game, second set.
Well, he had a few different looks to digest, but dealt with them nicely. Yeah, I think this year here in Melbourne we've seen a slightly different return position as well from Zverev. That's been talked about a little bit. The feet are a little bit closer together off the return. Whether that, obviously that was done deliberately, how much of a, again, an impact that makes for him in terms of the return, we'll see.
Ready for play.
That's tough. It's just so much depth and so much power on it.
difficult because you sense that Humbert's feeling the pressure, don't you, to make something happen. He knows as well right now that he's got to try and get himself ahead in the rally a little more often, which is not really happening.
I mean, I do like that, though, because it shows awareness that he's understanding that he needs to try something else, which obviously also, after 1-6 set, isn't that hard to figure out, but at least he is trying something.
Yep. Zverev's levels dropped a fraction. It's been frugal with the unforced errors, but a couple on a row here.
Advantage Humbert.
These two guys played a lot of doubles together, didn't they? Chardy and Martin for many years.
Finals of the French, I think.
It's a big game.
Massive hold, I would say. That could have opened up the floodgates for sure.
1 game on.
He made his breakthrough, his big breakthrough in the 2023 season, did Ugo Humbert. Of course, had been a top 50 player, but got himself up to 23 in the world at the end of 2023 and was able to keep moving in the right direction last season. Over in Marseille and Dubai, almost back-to-back weeks in February last year, so he's got a few points to defend in the next month or so.
Love.
I mean, that's as good as it gets right now. What's the first percentage there, Bobby?
I was looking at the aces. He's got 8 aces now, Zverev, and Humbert's only got 1. And Humbert's a pretty big server, so that is not a good feeling for him.
Been a couple of forehands though, a little timid.
That's where the random errors come. Sometimes if you give him a little bit of off pace, I've seen some random mistakes there. I think he just gets caught with his feet and then just doesn't swing enough.
Game, Zverev.
9 out of 11 first serves for the set.
Amazing.
Tennis is easy.
It is when it's played like this. And it's a set and 2-1 for the number 2 seed. Well, one of the challenges, obviously, is for Humbert on return, and we'll have a look at this particular graphic, Rob, because when he's hitting his spots, obviously, Humbert's inability to get the return is there for all to see.
Yeah, it's just he just can't get in depth on it, right?
Yeah,
and
that's Zverev's numbers.
Yeah, Zverev is a little bit deeper, so that's the thing. Humbert has found it impossible to push Sasha Zverev back in the court, whereas Zverev is doing an excellent job of that.
Yeah, look at the unreturned serve number as well when you go with that particular graphic there, because Zverev is at almost 60% serves unreturned so far. Humbert just at 30, so fairly substantial golf.
Time.
With over 50,000 fans through the gates today here in Melbourne Park, 54,000 to be precise. And it has been another very busy weekend. It's the day session only, by the way, today. Plenty more coming in for the night.
Oh.
He's hitting the ball sweetly, just sweet off the middle of the racket. He's got full control of the tennis sport at the moment. It's impressive.
And Humbert's being forced, Rash, isn't he, to play a lot of tennis from deep parts of the court.
Yeah, and I just need a bit something different. Like, I need a serve volley point in each one of his service games, at least one.
You were saying?
And that's right, because he does have nice feel. And I just, yeah, you've got to come in, you've got to make the game look a little different. It can't be the game and the image that Zverev wants to see the whole time. There he goes. Did we just put a bug in his ear or not?
I think you're pretty close to a lot of the French players, Rash, so maybe he's some sort of intuition down there.
And that serve out wide, I know why he's standing in that position on the second court, but he hasn't varied that stance at all to serve, so I would get tighter to the middle. I'd move even further. Like, just, again, what happens is Zverev will get comfortable, get a read on it, and he's locked in.
With a wide serve as well, because Sasha Zverev's backhand is so good. Once he's there, he doesn't have any problem with it. He'll get it back every single time.
Yeah, one of the best two-handers in the world, undoubtedly.
That's the danger, right?
And also he's got reach. And so when you've got someone who's tall with reach, one of the great spots to serve is into their body. That lefty serve into the body would be a beauty, because it's hard to get organised in tight around your body if you've got that much reach. Long levers.
I never understood that with lefties really why they don't serve more body on the ad side. There's not a righty that wants to dig out returns from their right pocket, so just slide that into the forehand side.
Yep.
And just make it move into that pocket. Like this, you can't swing. You're gonna get a weak reply.
Well, he's had to work for both holds in this set, but he's secured a couple of games in a row.
2 games all.
Good change of mindset as well from him as well. Taking the ball on a bit more, trying to take that time away. So yes, it will be a little riskier, but you know, you can't keep things moving along the same pathway. So big props to him so far.
Flashy, can't he, as well? He can go through periods where he starts to get a bit of time on the ball and can be deadly.
Zverev barely landed on that serve before it was past him.
And he got a nice read on that first serve.
I was just going to say that he went early on that one.
Love 13.
Wonder if it was a read or if it was a chance, because he went early.
Yep.
Thank you. Lennox for service.
Humbert's all over his serve at the moment. That came out of the middle.
Well, a bit of pressure for the first time, really, on his own deal here. And now he's facing 3 break points.
Please.
And he'd been broken twice through the opening 3 rounds, Zverev.
15-14.
Great return again.
30-14.
Boy, was he working hard to stay in this rally, was Humbert.
Amazing return again. Unbelievable save by Zverev.
Yes.
With a cheese slicer, as we say in Sweden.
He kept working the forehand over, didn't he? And Zverev held firm this time around. Previous rally, instantly the longest of the match so far, unsurprisingly.
Advantage Humbert.
Humbert is starting to get a pick on the serve and starting to make inroads. Can he get a break?
Hasn't picked the wrong corner once this game.
Rash, you like that return though? You like the offense he's showing?
Well, you don't pull back just because you've got break point. That's what's taken him there, and he came out the middle of the racket, by the way. So yeah, no, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
that's the way forward for him.
Sure,
and that's what he was feeling at the time.
Absolutely. Not sure how you explain that. Humbert had gone, he was out of the point pretty much. Disappeared.
Thank you.
6 forehand unforced already in this set from Zverev. He's got it. And could that see a shift in this contest? Largely outplayed until this game. Humbert has got a break in the second. What is Zverev suggesting there? Let's have a little look, Rob, at what's changed here positionally in set 2 for Humbert.
Here, as you can see, I mean, he's really far back on the first serve. Second serve was in, and that has switched completely, as everybody can see. He's really taken on the first serve, and it's obviously paid off. He's really in Zverev's head right now in this game. Zverev went straight to his box, complaining about something and that something's not working. But I mean, as a player, you got to be ready for that someone's going to change their tactics after a 1-6 set. You can't expect for them to just continue. So I'm a little bit surprised that he's that taken aback by it.
Humbert has just been told, we are being informed, that his grunting, the timing of his grunt has got to be a little better. read into that what you will, or define that how you wish, but the grunt that he is producing off the shot might just be irritating the German. Who knows? Rush, is that noticeable down there?
No, that's staggering.
Okay.
I haven't picked up and gone, wow, that sounds different. So
it's a bit strange, isn't it?
Who complained?
Don't know.
Couldn't be from the chair, surely.
I didn't hear Zverev complain, did you?
No.
Anything can come from the chair. We all know that.
It's too good. Ducked that out impressively.
Comfortably.
That was a super volley there at the end, boys. Come on, get fired up a little bit. I mean, that's a super volley. Sorry, I didn't know you two were that good. That's bread and butter, is it? Do you know what it is? It's actually a delayed grunt, so he hits and then releases.
Yeah, but that can't be something new. I mean, it's not like he's fresh off the boat, so to speak. I mean, like it's not noticeable at all from up here.
Yeah, it's normal.
Mirjana Veljevic in the chair today. And that's the serve you're looking for, isn't it? A little more, because he couldn't get out of the way of that, could he? About 65% of the time he's gone wide on the ad side so far. Just looking at our data. A little ambitious.
That was a bit of a brain fade, to be honest, wasn't it? I mean, that's you've got to just secure that point however you can.
Yeah.
Thank you. Advantage, Zverev.
A little bit of a case of heading into the lines, Den, isn't it, when you serve there into the backhand, because you can ask for trouble, and again he just limited his own time because of it.
Let first service. Use. Advantage, Humbert.
Got him on the move and got him out of position. Zverev Rare occasion he wasn't able to track the ball down from the back. Humbert looking to try and consolidate his break. And he does just that. He has won some big points in this set. Easily have been down a break early on, couldn't he? And he's hung tough. Actually had 4 top 10 wins last year, did Humbert. He beat Hurkacz in back-to-back weeks. He beat Medvedev in Dubai en route to that title there, and he beat Alcaraz, of course, in Paris in the last event of the regular season. That's clever.
15-all.
Pushing Zverev up the court a little more. Not on his own terms either.
So Zverev has 10 unforced errors for the match on his forehand side. 8 of them have come this set.
Yep. Does have the benefit, doesn't he, of that short swing on the backhand. It's like that, obviously the ability to kind of use pace is effective with that sort of swing.
No, absolutely, and he can clearly return this way also. So I mean, almost a little bit surprised why he wouldn't do it from the beginning.
Thank you.
Yeah, talked about his backhand being his favourite shot. And we're seeing why. Well, did he do off the return again?
Yes, he's got a huge read on it. He actually went from thinking about bunting it to changing his racket face and chipping it back. That's how well he's seeing the ball now. Zverev's serving against the breeze a little bit as well, and that was 197. So it's amazing what happens when it just comes off that, that 210, 211 range.
He's missed it. Humbert putting the pressure on again. And Zverev, who looked untouchable on serve for a set and a bit, has now been broken in back-to-back games. Incredible, really. Wasn't getting near his serve, was he?
No, I mean, this sport is unbelievable. I've been in it for a long time. I still don't get it. I still don't understand it. I was almost booking dinner reservations after the first set. That's not happening. I think I'm having a dinner in the studio now, in the box. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by serve how he emotionally actually looks. He's talking to his box after almost every point, I would say, that he loses. And I mean, just try to find your way back. This can't be the first time someone's attacked his serve, right? So he's been in the position before.
Time.
French flags are flying here on John Cain Arena. Let's have a look at the numbers. First serve numbers for this particular stage. Zverev, as we say, still pretty high. Humbert has gone up in set 2.
Ready for play.
More importantly, he's been able to diffuse the serve of Zverev.
Yeah, that's untouchable.
Love 15.
Almost feels like that serve is a bit shorter in the box, isn't it, as well? Because obviously we talked about that serve going into the slot. When it's deeper, it's coming in, but when it's a bit shorter, it's moving more, isn't it?
No, but that's the thing. If you want to serve wide or open the court as a ground stroke, you have to play short.
Yep.
You're not going to get the ball moving otherwise.
His ability to get that second court wider serve a little shorter is also helped by the breeze, because he's going into it slightly. It'll grab, it'll hold the ball up and move it. It won't actually penetrate through towards the backhand as cleanly.
Interesting.
That's a great body serve there. It's just, it's so difficult to hit yourself out of a body serve like that. You have to create so much space. And if you choose to go left on a lefty serve, you are going to get caught.
2 set points. Super response. Could so easily have been down a set and a break early on here. And he's been able to hang on and turn the tables. And the Frenchman grabs the second to take us to 1 set apiece.
No, toilets. Only toilets.
Well, let's have a look at some of the numbers, Bobby, on that second set overall.
I mean, the first point, the first service point won is the big one. I mean, Sasha dipped really. He was in the, wasn't he in the 90s in the first set?
Mm-hmm.
That's a massive difference. Funnily, none of them are really winning a lot of second serves, which is a little bit surprising.
Some key stages weren't there in those first couple of games because he was under a bit of pressure on serve in the first couple of holds, was Humbert. John Cain Arena in full to capacity. And someone's enjoying a bit of a dance-off up there, I think. And of course is a look across the city. What a city it is. Players love coming here, Bobby, this time of year. Done a lot. Craig Tully's done a great job and certainly looks after the players.
No, it's a phenomenal event. They really invest so much into their stadium, their grounds, and for the players as well. It's, I mean, it's called both the Happy Slam and the Players Slam. It's everything from the locker rooms to the food, which is by far the best out of all the Grand Slams for the players. So that on top of Australia being such an amazing country in general, but especially in the summer. It's such, being European, it's just so nice to come down here, and yeah, everybody's happy in the summer.
Certainly are. Zverev will not be quite as happy right now. It'll be interesting to see what he does to try and shift this around, because it's turned pretty quickly, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, now we're seeing he's walking to his box to talk to them and get an idea what's going on, but I mean his body language has just shifted so much. I have to say I like that with Humbert. Like, he lost the first 6-1, but he came out like nothing had happened. He just needs to believe again, get back to work, not get so stressed out that his serve is coming back so fast. Maybe even there, since Humbert is standing further in, serve some body to him as well, take the swing away from him, because obviously he is timing it so well. So take his arms away, serve body a lot.
Just scan the QR code for your chance to BS, and you could win a priceless experience, courtesy of MasterCard and the Australian Open.
Jez has been asked a question here.
Even though we obviously want to know what they're saying, I have to say, as a coach myself and been sitting on those chairs, I don't want anybody to hear what we're talking about.
Rash, any idea what might be being said? Any sort of indicators?
Yeah, I did. I think middle of that set, he said he thought he was a little bit done, so he obviously had a flat spot physically, which can happen in matches, that you just sometimes the energy just goes from your body, and I think that was one of the things that was discussed with Jez.
Time!
That I was able to read.
Interesting.
But the reality is he'll get his, if it's a second wind he's looking for, it will come. But it's interesting if that happened early in the piece.
Yeah.
Third set.
It's very early for that.
Zverev
After
to serve.
6-1 set also.
So Zverev to begin set number 3.
That's a great point. I personally don't think it had anything to do with that. The reality is when he was getting attacked by the Frenchman, there's a difference between someone coming at you and the way the Frenchman did it, because the penetration of his balls when he was driving it was always accelerated. There was never just a chip ball back. It was always a flat, hard ball, and he just felt the genuine heat and the pressure from the opponent. It was relentless through that set.
Last second service. Please. 30.
This would be a perfect start to this third set. Zverev again looking a little shaky.
Yeah, that forehand has gone a little bit. There's way too many errors for that.
So you may remember in the first set it was Zverev controlling the way the game was played, and so, but now he's been forced to react quicker, and that will make you feel like maybe something wrong with me.
Halt.
Drop from.
30 all.
He'd beaten Zverev though, hadn't he?
Would have beaten anybody.
Yeah.
Halt.
First serve so far in the game.
Game, Zverev.
Much better.
New balls, please.
And the significance of where he's at right now, that
First
was
game,
a good hold.
third set.
And that's the thing with five-setters also. One of the best advices I got about playing five-setters, the few times I did it, was from my first Davis Cup captain, Mats Wilander. He took me aside after one of my debuts or before the debut, and he said, Robert, you have to understand, in a five-setter, it will never just go your way. Something will always come in your way. It will never just flow. And I really took that to heart. Being an angry tennis player, that really helped me a lot.
You weren't angry, were you, Rob?
I was extremely angry, and you know that.
Every now and again.
Yeah.
It's good to let it out though, Rob. This guy's pretty calm most of the time, isn't he? Between the ears, not too much seems to get to him.
Very un-French. It's tough to question an algorithm.
It is. In the opening set, he was just getting no change out of the serve, and now he's getting a ton of free points here. Zverev looking a little laboured out to that serve.
Game Humbert. One game on.
It had so much movement to it. It was.
I think it went to Laver, honestly. That's how much it moved.
Yeah.
But also with Sasha, I don't know if he's projecting now or not. I mean, if there's no call, the ball is in. It's just we've played with this system for quite a while.
Yep.
Or they have, sorry. And they all know this. Sometimes the mark on the court doesn't really exactly look the same as on the screen, but we're playing with what's seen on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great shot. That is not easy.
15 love.
It looked good from down there, Rush, I'm sure.
That was a ripping ball hit. Talking about being under siege at the moment. And that will settle his nerves a little bit.
He needs this Zverev now. He needs a few free pointers and needs a few aces to just get back into his groove. That's not the best shot he's hit
40 love.
in a set and a half. Almost looks like he got caught between hitting a drop shot and then faking him out.
Yeah.
Game Zverev.
Had enough of that game. The Frenchman.
Zverev leads 2-1.
So we've had 3 successive holds here to begin this third set. Let's have a look at the Zverev forehand. In terms of set 1 to set 2, obviously a little bit of a shift here. This was set 1. You can see the errors, very few of them. In fairness, there weren't that many long rallies, were there? But if we go to set 2, Bob, we can see it's not quite as consistent.
No, it isn't, and there's some big misses here as well. And every time you miss something really big, obviously one, you kind of brush it off, but there's a couple then that can really creep in. And once you start thinking too much about your tennis, that's not a place you want to be. There's got to be muscle memory. There's got to be automatic. And if you start thinking about how to hit a tennis ball, you're going to be late. You don't have time to do it.
Time.
Fascinating match. It has swung pretty violently in the direction of both players so far. Humbert down on serve in the third. He's made all 6 first serves. Early stages of this set as the Frenchman.
That was a big jump to the left from Zverev there when the Frenchman was about to hit that serve.
30-15.
Even though this is a defensive slice, I always loved this slice as a play to get that short and side of the court, move your opponent in, and if they're not coming in, you have a free ball to hit. You just push them back. That's a great play.
He
almost hits it and then just walks to get a new ball because his nose is in. Thank you. New ball, please.
Like a golfer, isn't it? Like a 10-foot putt, and they know it's in from the start.
Yeah.
Rash, what's causing the misses on the forehand?
2 games on.
Obviously, it's no secret that's the side that's not as reliable, but what's that miss down to?
Oh, I feel like that one was a bit of reach. So there are times when Sash's feet don't really get into that really sort of proactive position where he can actually just hit and move into the ball, and that he generally, you know, when he has those bad runs, it's laying off. His body doesn't actually go with the shot.
It really does feel that this is what's going to get him back into the match again. Just get more first serves in and get a few free points, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't get that clicking, then he's going to have a tough night.
He's only made 5 of 12, interestingly, first serves in this set. Oh, that's well done.
This is a great save.
40 love.
I'm surprised he could hit through that, actually.
Yeah.
I was thinking for sure that will be a chip. That's not bad at all.
Game, Zverev.
Much more like it. So a fair few of those games in the early stages of the match.
3 games to 2.
We want to channel a few more going forwards. 3-2, third set.
While we take a break, let us inspire your next adventure. Fly with us in comfort to London, Edinburgh, Athens or Rome, Paris or Dublin, and over 40 cities across Europe. But remember, it's not just the destination, it's also how you get there. Fly Emirates, Fly better.
Time.
Little overview of the grounds there. Kia Arena in the middle.
Amazing grounds.
Constantly looking to innovate and develop, as they will do going forwards here at Melbourne Park.
Always feels like there's still a lot of space here, in contrast to coming to Paris and French Open, where you're just sardines.
15 love.
That first ball with conviction, isn't he?
Light per service.
We talked about his top 10 record. He's only ever beaten one top 10 player at a major. That was Casper Ruud on the grass at Wimbledon. This would be, you sense, a bigger scalp. Ruud on the grass, as we know, not as effective.
Out. 40 love.
Ruud losing to Jakob Mensik this week. One of the hottest properties.
There's a ball striker.
Yeah.
Game on there.
And there's a few of them coming up, aren't there, Bobby? The younger guys that we've seen this week.
I think that, and they're all 19, it seems. I don't know why. What happened that year?
Lerner Tien, the only one still going of the teenagers.
I was very impressed by him in the Medvedev match. I thought he was going to start to overplay like everybody does against Medvedev, but he just stuck with him, and he was willing to suffer and do the work, and really paid off.
Missed opportunity, that, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Obviously, when you go with your forehand inside in, it has to be good, but just overcooked it a little bit.
Halt.
What was that? What was that?
15 all.
Let's have a look at it again.
That never went up. Did you just hit the frame on that? Is what you missed it completely?
Looked like it, didn't it?
And the reason Humbert's able to draw this is because if you look at his backswings, he doesn't really have many. Doesn't have a big backswing on his forehand in general, or his backhand, so he's able to just accelerate the ball very quickly back.
Yeah, exceptional timing, actually. That's why he's such a dangerous player also. He likes to play this style. He is very flashy in that sense, and once he lights up, it's tough to stop that train.
It's one way.
40.
Third ace of the set for Zverev. They have slowed down somewhat, though, haven't they?
Absolutely. Well, everything has slowed down.
Yep.
Game 7.
Having to work hard for another hold. But the world number 2 secures it.
Leads 4 games to 3.
And the most competitive set we've had so far.
Zverev also getting a racket back from the stringer. I always want to know if they go up or down. If they go up, it means they're a little bit nervous. If they go down, they're feeling good.
Certainly not hanging around here. He's up out of his chair very early. And Zverev. Cello Mello alongside his girlfriend, Sasha's girlfriend.
Time.
Great atmosphere tonight on JCA.
Great song.
It is.
I don't mind a bit of the Killers now and then. First real positive sign after a point that I've seen from Zverev in almost 2 sets.
Ladies and gentlemen, please,
giving the fist
when
to
the player
his
is about to serve,
box.
or the point has started, please be quiet and respect both players, because that's very disturbing for them. Thank you.
First time in this set that he's won the opening point on the Humbert serve. Just sprinkled in enough down the tee, hasn't he, to keep him honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is obviously moving Zverev, forcing him to cover the wide. And when you get points like this, you know you're in his head. So it's really a great sign when you're a server. It makes you feel even more comfortable stepping up to the line.
Out.
And then that happens.
15-13.
Welcome to the commentary box, Bob.
Thank you. I'm done.
Zverev hanging in the rally, and he's got a couple of errors
all of a sudden.
15-14.
It almost looks like his legs are just straight. He's standing on stilts somehow.
He just refuses to drive with his body through the forehand on the backhand. Completely different. So you just end up arming the ball.
Incredible. And Humbert was left tied in knots.
It's funny how at times Humbert looks like he has zero feel.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like he just punched it into the middle of the net. And we, earlier on, Robert said, there was a drop shot that nearly hit row 3 on the side. It's interesting for someone who does actually. He feels the ball.
It felt like on that return he was so surprised, I think, almost when the ball came back where it landed, wasn't it? Just panicked a bit.
Yeah, you just never can do that. You can't just watch what's happening. You've played enough. You know where you're supposed to stand if a ball ends up in a certain part of the court.
Yeah.
Just move into it.
30-love.
Some severe shifts in this match. The pendulum, and Zverev again back to dominating on serve. 3 set points.
Game and third set.
And a love hold will seal the deal in set 3 for the world number 2.
Zverev leads by 2 sets to 1.
He's having to work extremely hard out here. He's a set away from the last 8. Well, that shifted pretty quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, believe it or not, but I mean that's what that can happen, right? When you're playing the Humbert style of tennis, it is higher risk. And he was forced to step up and take a little bit more risk now. And if you fall off just a little bit, but you're still trying to play that high risk, then you lose a little focus or a little timing, then you're going to start missing, right? And there were a couple here that he hasn't missed for almost 2 sets. And,
yeah, you're walking a tightrope a little bit, aren't you?
Exactly, exactly. Your English is better than mine.
I'd hope so, Bob.
Yeah, not a good sign for you otherwise.
Some of the highlights. He finished with a flourish, didn't he?
Do you need anything?
That's the situation on John Cain Arena. With the sun setting on a beautiful Sunday here in Melbourne Park, middle weekend of the Australian Open.
Love 15.
Sasha Schroed not happy again. I don't think he's going to change the call though.
Halt!
Can't get hold of that.
40-13.
Musician, of course, is Ugo. Very fine pianist. Music's been a big part of his life growing up. Kept the pressure on. It's so well for low ball there.
First game, full set.
Talked about the work he's done off the court mentally as well with Jeremy Chardy. Yes, the game obviously is there for all to see, the way he can dictate play, but he talked about how Chardy helped him mentally to stay a bit calmer in the big moments. Wasn't always the case in the early days. He said he would just panic a bit, as Jeremy. But a big game, didn't he? Serving for him was a pretty decent combination in his day.
That was a powerful player. I remember when he was coached by Swedish coach Magnus Tideman, and they discussed that Jeremy was trying to hit too hard too often, and Magnus was saying, there's not openings all the time, and then Jeremy's answer was, but I see openings all the time.
And he had one enormous win here on this court 1 year against a player that well loved but doesn't play anymore. I'll give you a guess or two each.
Okay.
I hate this game.
Doesn't play anymore.
No.
You got me thinking here, Ash.
big ones who's not playing anymore. You got Andy, Roger, Rafa. Who else is not playing anymore?
And he was a big one too.
Don't know, have to say. Got me on that one, Rash.
Got us both.
The Argentine. Delpo.
Delpo.
Nice.
I was going to say Nalbandian. That was not have been right call.
Game.
Would have been the right continent and the right country, though. Shardy, of course, retiring at Wimbledon. Summer before last. Played his final match against Carlos Alcaraz on court 1. He lives in London, does Jeremy. His young son goes to school there.
Love 15. Love 13.
Pressure growing on the Frenchman here. Thought he'd made it, didn't he?
15-13.
Fault.
The frustrations that he was feeling 20 minutes or so ago seem to have evaporated. One of his better forehands of the evening. Sniffing an opportunity again. And the errors are beginning to flow from Ugo Humbert's racket as well. Under pressure. Frenchman finds himself further on the back foot now. Let's have a little look at the Zverev serve placement. This was set 2. Keep an eye on the direction in terms of just where he was serving. The shift in set 3, Bobby.
I mean, as you see here, I mean, there's no body serves in this, and even if you look at the former graphic, I wouldn't call those body serves again. I think they're curling out away from him. But obviously loving the tee on the ad and the slice wide, so he's definitely serving more to Humbert's backhand. And again, like I say, if someone's crowding me when I'm serving, like trying to take it on early, I always want to ask the question, can you handle the body? And I try to beat him with pace there, just take the swing away. But he's obviously not doing that. And it's also tough to tell someone who won a set 6-3 that you have to change something, because now it's flowing for him again.
There or thereabouts at so many of the big events. Sasha Zverev, since that injury, of course, that horrible injury that he suffered at Roland Garros 3 years ago now.
Yeah, on the way the tennis he was playing in that tournament, I think that is, apart from the US Open one where he served for it, but that one got away from him. I think he was going to handle Rafa in that match and go on and win that tournament, because the tennis he was playing was unbelievable.
Oh.
Yeah, that was 6 months out of the game. And some change. Never really recovered. And you're feeling something here.
But that's also the case always, right? It's 6 months out, but you also have probably another 6 months before you're actually feeling match ready. Your body gotta take the new beating, and you gotta get used to the matches as well. Zverev's coughing a fair bit here. He's one of those Australian flies that never give up.
Getting to the backhand wing and getting an error. Forcing Humbert under more pressure.
Game, Zverev.
Great game to cement the break.
Zverev leads 3-1.
Zverev's serving numbers are back to where they were in the first set. He's winning 8 out of 8 first serves. And he's got 89% first serves in. Again, tennis is a bit easier to play when you have those numbers.
Oh.
It does feel like Humbert's tennis at times goes in waves, doesn't it? He rides the crest of a wave for a while. Obviously now he's not quite feeling it. Scoreline's against him as well.
I feel like that has always been Humbert's case with his tennis, that it goes in waves. The last couple of seasons, though, those dips have been further apart since he's had a couple of really good seasons.
Yeah, it wasn't far off qualifying for Turin last year either, was he? He finished around 11 in the race. A couple of spots off.
Yeah, Bercy would have helped with that.
Yeah.
Game number.
And serve will help with that game as well as he cuts the deficit in this fourth set. He still, though, trails by the break. Serving with the advantage, Sasha Zverev.
Ready for play.
German 3-2 to the good.
Love 15.
Yeah, the off-pace ball, wasn't it? And he's just struggled with.
Yeah, if he has a lot of issues, it's off and off of that ball.
Thank
give
you.
him a couple of fast ones and then change the pace. He really can get caught with his feet. And there's just no follow through. And I think that's why he needs to really search the ball more on that side than his backhand side.
Fine rally.
Great tennis.
And they're asking some serious questions.
It's very calm of the overhead. It's very confident
30.
with that shot. Well, that's the service he's been going for these last couple of sets.
Frenchman.
That'll do.
30-40.
Just a horrible approach though, boys. I'm sorry to put a dampener on it, but this is going to the forehand for a start, coming towards you, the moving player, middle of the court. That needed to be hit for a win.
Thank you.
But it was nice.
Chance to break and get himself back on level terms here.
Light for service.
Monstrous.
Got him again.
Use.
That is a great pickup. And as much as I've talked about his forehand, to hit those two in the middle of the fourth, that is not too shabby.
Miles an hour. Full commitment.
Cain, Zverev.
It's a big hold if you're Sasha Zverev
Zverev,
fans.
4 games to 2.
Tommy Paul awaiting the winner in the last 8. Ever more likely it will be the German. For a little more, not too much on the second serve. He's found himself pretty much majority of his service games in this set behind the 8 ball early on. In a bit of a hurry here now. Is it slipping away from him?
Tennis is so much about momentums, right? Especially 5-setters. You feel like in the game before, like the momentum is about to shift again. Humbert is kind of clawing his way back. doesn't get it, and just because it's a shift in the game to 4-2.
Thank you.
Just some sloppy mistakes all of a sudden.
Yeah. Felt like the emotional level just dropped a bit, didn't it, from Humbert? Intensity went down a fraction at the start of this game. He picked the serve and he picked him off. And he knows that may well be a fatal blow to the chances of Ugo Humbert.
5-2.
Zverev will serve for it at 5-2.
That's a phenomenal return. It almost looks like he's made the decision, to be honest, looking back at it now, that he's just going to say, if you beat me with a T serve from that point, too good. I'm going to give it to you. And then he's just jumped left to cover the backhand early.
Almost in that cross court rash, isn't he, from where he's contacting it?
Yeah, almost. And Robbie, you're right. He was leaning over there, was going to commit to that ball, and it was only going to ever be one shot.
But a question, has Humbert served one serve in the ad side from a regular service position? Center mark.
Maybe one or two. Not many, for sure.
I don't know if he has.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rod, assuming he goes on to win here. Sasha, what do you make of his level today?
I thought obviously the first set was just top end. It was really high quality. Everything was quite pure. Then there's a fade away, but that's 5-set tennis. He's bounced back, so you know you take this tennis going into your next match, and then you've got a different type of matchup as well. So yeah, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can start dissecting things if you like, but you've got to just put your head down, keep your eyes forward, and take all the good things out of it, and move into Tommy Paul pretty quickly.
Yep. Tommy Paul, a former semi-finalist here as well.
Oh.
serve has been tough to handle, isn't it, for long periods of this match, particularly at the start and at the finish. 2 match points.
Thank you. Game,
Sasha Zverev books his ticket to a 4th Australian Open quarterfinal.
There it is. For 2 hours and 16 minutes.
He drops his first set of the week en route. Ugo Humbert not quite able to keep his level as the German moves through 6-2 in the 4th.
Yeah, in the end, a great effort. It is a tough ask of Ugo Humbert to produce that sort of tennis that it did in the 2nd set, which was unbelievable, to be honest. But to beat a player like Sasha Zverev, you have to do it for a minimum of 2 hours, which is a tall ask.
Yeah, it really is.
Another great tournament here at the Australian Open. He absolutely loves playing on John Cain Arena.
Yeah, had a fabulous season last year, did Ugo Humbert. He's got a few points to defend over the next few weeks, but I'm sure he's not too concerned about that, because if he plays at times as well as he does, he'll put him on the board, Rob.
Oh yeah, it's I mean, it's very difficult to defend against someone that's coming at you that well, and how well he was reading Zverev's serve in the 2nd set is the most impressive thing to me, because at times he's not touching it, and then for a whole set he can't put a foot wrong.
So Zverev through in 4 back-to-back quarterfinals here in Melbourne. Let's hear from him, speaking to his fellow German, Andrea Petkovic.
Sasha, into the quarterfinals of the Australian Open once again. Incredible performance against a top 20 player in Ugo. You got a bit complicated, but you came through in style. What did you think of your tennis in this match today?
I think that you party too much. Your voice is gone.
I'm so sorry. I apologize. I was yelling at you so much that I lost my voice.
So you were yelling at me or for me? Which one was it?
For you.
All right. So I'll let you go then. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, he's an incredible tough player. I think in the last few months he did so many steps forward. Made the finals of his first Masters 1000 event. I think played incredible here.
Who did he lose to in the Masters 1000?
Okay, yes, he lost to me, but that was not the point. Why are you making it awkward? Just I don't know. Can't talk to you.
I'm so sorry.
No, again, I think he's improving in the last few months tremendously. He's number 14 in the world. I think he has big chances of becoming a top 10 player very soon, and incredible player, incredible tennis, and I'm happy to be in quarterfinals.
We were worried about you a little bit. You had a biceps issue at United Cup, so you played your first match exactly 1 week ago on Sunday. What did you expect then? And what do you expect now with this tennis that you've been progressing day in, day out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm extremely happy to be in the quarterfinals, only losing 1 set. And the last set that I lost, I think my opponent played incredible, and I didn't have a lot of chances of winning it. So, you know, a week ago, I was very unsure of my level. I was very unsure of my tennis. Couldn't really play many points in practice. Couldn't really prepare the way I wanted to. But that's why I'm even more happy to be in the quarterfinals. But, you know, I definitely want to play 3 more matches here. So we'll see how that goes.
I've known you for a very long time, and you look like a man on a mission. But I have to ask you, I noticed, unless you have to check your blood sugar, you have diabetes, you take very little time on the bench. Are you in a rush? Do you have a date with Sophia today? This is very beautiful golf.
I I have a date with the practice courts later still. So, no, I don't know. That's just the way I am. I don't really sit down a lot. I'm not a very stressful person actually. I'm actually quite relaxed, but yeah, I guess I am quick on a tennis court, but only on a tennis court. Just.
Final question before this gets more awkward. We have to talk about Tommy Paul. He's waiting for you in the quarterfinals. You've lost the last 2 times. What do you want to do different to turn this one around for you?
Yeah, I've never actually beaten him, funny enough, but I think we haven't played in like 5 years or something like that, so, or maybe a bit less than that, but again, he's somebody that also improved quite a lot, is on the brink of becoming a top 10 player, and I got to be at my best. I got to play the way I played the first week, hopefully a little bit better. And again, I really want to play 3 more matches here. I really do enjoy Australia, and I want to stay as long as possible.
We wish you the best of luck. Alexander Zverev into the quarterfinals of the Australian Open.
Yeah, well on Petco. His voice is rather limited. Zverev, who will look forward, I'm sure, to that contest, which, as Roger was saying, will be a different sort of one. Robbie?
No, obviously every match is a bit a different one. I really want to watch that match, him against Tommy Paul. That's going to be a great match to watch.
Yeah, that was a good contest. It certainly went in, swung in a whole lot of different directions pretty quickly as well. But that, as Robbie was saying, was at times the way Ugo Humbert plays this sport. Let's have a look at the numbers over the course of, well, it's pretty quick, wasn't it? Only 2.5 hours or so. 2 hours and a quarter. Anything jumping out here, Rob?
Second serves points won for Ugo Humbert. That is not a good number. That is not defending your second serve like you really want to do. 23% won. That is, I'm sorry, that's an awful number.
Yeah. Yeah, suffered in that department. Zverev serve
4 errors as well.
Yeah. So, as we've referenced, the American awaits. Alcaraz through today. Jack Draper not able to finish his contest. 3 5-setters in a row, proving to be tough to handle for Jack, and Djokovic on court right now. We'll leave it there at John Cain Arena. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage today. Sasha Zverev will sign some autographs and get ready for the next challenge. We will say good evening and bye for now.
Sasha!